Shall we jump into it, gentlemen?
I think
Let's
so.
do it.
All right, guys. Welcome, fellow technologists, integrators, innovators,
Pergamurphs. Pergamurphs. That's the term.
enthusiasts, AV pros, all of you guys out there that want to know a little bit more, something about the AV integration, install, technology era that we are living in.
Era.
I'm Guillermo Garcia, by the way.
And I'm Ben Cancelbaum.
And I am RJ. And we are Epic Environments. Epic Environments, basically your resource. Anytime you want to mix a little technology into your environment.
It's pretty bad. Sorry. We
You didn't do it.
Didn't
I was afraid what
That's
might
like-
happen
We
if I did.
I thought an explosion of like this power and then like a sword would come down.
I've seen Power Rangers and, all right,
Hope for the
dating
best.
myself, Captain Planet.
All right.
I know what happens when your powers combined. So this is the Epic Podcast, back on track here. And what we do is all week long, we kind of, we have to keep up to date with things. We want to keep you guys up to date with things. So we scour the interwebs,
Scoured.
bringing you guys the latest stories and news all around our industry here.
Yeah.
So, let's
Yeah,
see.
so...
Let's get to it.
We
Yeah.
got some notes here. Let's
What
make sure
notes?
we got the intro.
Oh, you got that. You got that.
Yeah, we got that. We got.
Mine's in English this time.
It says here
It's
to
awesome.
it says here to
You can
remind
read it.
everybody to
Oh.
like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, don't forget to comment below.
And if you've got any AV enthusiast friends or whatever, make sure you share us with them. We'd like to welcome them to the fold. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, if you see something in the news, you want something that for us to put our 2 cents into for 6 cents for the price of 2, shoot it in the comments below or send us an email. All of our contact info is down below, or you can hit us up at www.epicenvironments.com/epictv. All right. I don't know whose phone that was. They're all on silent. But anyways,
Yes.
here we go.
having
Get into
fun.
it. Ben, what'd you find this
So,
week?
yeah, I found something interesting since we talked a little bit about the Amazon Echo, I think, last week. And it turns out that Apple is building a competing speaker for the house, kind of involving their Siri application. And what that's really doing is allowing, what they need to do is basically allow other third-party developers to have that technology to develop it, because the goal with this whole like Nest and home automation thing
Yeah, it's
is
who you're in bed with, right?
yeah, exactly.
You gotta hook it
So
up.
you gotta what they really got to do is open up the platform to all these other developers that basically allow the assistant to work for you. And so the interesting thing is that they have a software development kit that should be out hopefully as early as June. And it's been, I guess the speaker has been in development long before the Echo. And
Why hasn't it come out? Is it talk about
trying
that?
Well, it says here. It's
to make it right, but they're so late to the game, It's
and this is
A season later.
Yeah, this is an article that Ben found on The Verge's website. We'll have links to all this stuff down below in the show notes if you guys want to check that out. But it says, according to CNET, the company has held talks with Lenovo to integrate the software into Windows computers, presumably where it would either work with or replace Microsoft's Cortana, which has probably been one of the big hurdles. I'm sure this has been on Amazon's radar for a while to get into the PCs and stuff like that. Obviously, Apple's are out because they got their Siri, but the PC market has Cortana.
Yep.
And I think they've had to wait for Microsoft to kind of open things up a little bit in that department before they can kind of get into this. But Amazon's, making moves with this stuff.
Yep,
They have-
exactly.
they
So,
have bankroll.
the interesting thing is because Siri platform is so popular among Apple users, that with the new launch of, I think, their new operating system, they're going to be releasing Siri for that. And so that's going to creep really into the home automation market, because now you have a bunch of devices that are connected. And so I think what they're trying to do is get as many third-party affiliates as possible to integrate their home automation
their
kit.
team.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Just
going to
like-
be everybody's team, though, right? It's going to have to integrate with
It
the
seems
Nest
like-
products, too, right? It's
I
going to have
I think
to...
we're going to see two silos at the very least.
Oh, they're going to just try to keep it. It's
Apple tries to keep it exclusive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's been integral to their
But there's
brand.
always that gray area where you get the integrating software to make this work with that, or there's an adapter that we can buy to plug in to make it work. It's just a ploy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Make it all functional with everything. Then it really comes down to the product and how good the product is. You know, like those bulbs we were talking about the other day. I mean, those
Right,
are pretty
right.
cool, really cool, and they're superior to bulbs that are out there at a similar price point. So
The LED
that,
bulbs.
right? So that should justify why people buy something, not necessarily just because it works with. Because then it could be a piece of crap, but it's the only thing that works with Apple.
Right,
It's
but-
the only thing that works with.
I have a feeling what you're gonna see develop. I'm gonna put on my future scene costume here, and I'm gonna gaze into my crystal ball computer, and
The
I'm gonna
Swami.
and I'm gonna say you're gonna end up seeing exactly what you are kind of seeing right now a little bit play out with the video game platforms. You've got your Xbox and you got your PlayStation. You know what I mean? And you've got compatibility. Like there's exclusive Xbox games and there's exclusive PlayStation games. And if
Right.
you want to play Halo, then you're an Xbox guy. If you want to play, I don't play any of these, so I'm not sure what name to pull out for the PlayStation
But like
side.
Call of Duty's on both.
Right, sure.
know
There
what I mean?
probably will be some manufacturers that will give you both, but you'll have to pick which one you want,
Right.
probably. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
I-
later on in Epic Equipment, we have that. Won't say anything yet, but we got a special
Boom,
smart
boom,
home piece that
boom.
we're
Yep.
going to show off and talk about a little bit. And if this scenario plays out a little bit more, like right now, it works with Nest, and that is
Right.
through Amazon. But should Apple step up, would it also work with Apple, or
I
would there
believe
be
so.
a Apple version of it that they would have to come out with?
Or an adapter for it to work.
Well,
with
and that
Apple.
really comes down to Apple. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
licensing agreements and stuff like that. Back in the day with receivers, you know, there was a reason why your iPod dock was always a separate piece of equipment from your high-end receivers. Because when you had a receiver that was $2,000-$3,000, Apple gets a license fee
Yep.
for anything that's attached to their technology. And if you put that dock into the receiver, then it was whatever that percentage is on the
Yep.
whole price of the receiver, versus if you did a separate dock that connected to the receiver, there was a percentage, that
Just
same
of the
percentage went
dock,
on a
yeah.
small dock. So that's why you could never get like the flip down door with the, you
Yep.
know, the dock thing in it, way back in the day. So, you know, Apple's very, very protective of, and very closed when it comes to that stuff. And that's worked both well for them, obviously, but also at the same time, you
Can't
know,
they all just get along?
well,
know.
Windows phones died because they didn't have the right support with the apps, and there wasn't a ton to do with them, and so on and so forth. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Right.
Like,
They came late to the game.
right. Amazon and Android.
Mm-hmm.
So Android and Amazon, I think, are somehow tied together. Or no, that's Google. Android's
Google
Yeah.
and Android. Yeah.
So yeah, Google, Android, and Apple. You know what I mean, they're the only two that have kind of been able to
yeah.
compete. I think
Yeah,
just
exactly.
because
Those,
it's Google.
you know what, and it's a good, healthy competition. It's just one's a closed system, one's an open system, and it's a lot more input on an open system. But it really is about getting basically software development kits out to third-party distributors, really, to get new things incorporated into all these items. So
The more-
Groovy, man. Groovy.
Uh,
Totally groovy, man.
Yeah, basically, if you think about it, everything that the system talks to is the equivalent of the smartphone wars apps.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
The more apps you have, the stronger your platform, the stronger the more
Exactly.
you're able to offer. And along that note, in the next topic that I found here, there was an announcement. Sonos is stepping up and getting themselves into the game here. So it says this story comes from.
You have Sonos too.
I do. I
you
do.
like Sonos.
And I've actually been a big fan of Sonos.
Yeah.
do you use it
There's been
every
its
day?
drawbacks. There's been
Every
its
day?
drawbacks. Yeah, actually, we use the alarm feature.
Uh-huh.
So I have
Alarm.
a Sonos in my wife's
Okay, in the
whatever
bedroom?
room that is that she gets ready in. No, not the bedroom. 'Cause she wakes up before I do, so she goes and gets ready somewhere else. But I
Uh-huh.
have one in there, and it turns on every morning at the same time, and it turns
Okay.
to her radio station. And we do that through the iHeartRadio app and everything else.
Uh-huh.
The only complaint that I've ever had about Sonos is everything you do through Sonos, you have to do through the Sonos app.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
remember
Like-
hearing
That takes a
too.
minute.
And you have to. It's not that you can't use your Pandora, you can't do anything, but you go to the Sonos app and you link your Pandora account to the Sonos app, and then you have
And it
some
all has to
limited
be done,
functionality.
yeah.
So you couldn't just have your phone in the car Bluetoothed with Pandora and then walk into the house and have that same app pick up your song where you were. You got to go start another instance of Pandora
Yeah,
and
of
Sonos.
the
and-
actual, yeah.
and that's a nitpicky thing, but
It takes time though, and you have to.
well, it sounds like it might be a thing of the past because it
Right.
sounds like Sonos is actually starting to open things up. So this was actually something I stumbled across in Twice. I love Twice. They have so much good information in there. But they're saying that add Sonos to the list of Alexa's friends. So Sonos is getting ready to start with Alexa, but they're also saying that they've endorsed partner integrations with Crestron, Lutron, Savant, Control4, iPort, and Telcom, which I'm assuming is a overseas thing. But yeah, they are opening things up so that you can actually get in there with your Crestron system, or maybe an RTI system down the road or something like that. And
that's the same for the Amazon's platform. I mean, that's all Crestron and AMX controlled as well.
Right.
So
they're getting
cool.
Yeah.
It's some similar language. Awesome.
One of those features I think anybody with a Sonos system has always kind of wished they had. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to be able to use a keypad to control the Sonos speakers.
So you're stoked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah.
Finally, I get what I want.
The news story.
It's taken years.
So, yeah, I don't know if anybody heard Sonos
All right, cool.
stepping up to the game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. I'm done with this one. This is going into the bucket
See,
here. Ready?
see if it happened. Oh.
Fail.
So,
All right.
Oh, man.
so close. Yeah, so far.
So I wanted to talk about just something kind of gluttonous, but at the same time, it's art in a way,
Okay.
and it's iconic in a way. So it's just in the topic of cool things that probably aren't really necessary.
Okay. But I think we
Because
all
you
like
could buy
those.
something else, and it would be so much more for the
Yeah.
same money. But
Uh-huh.
if you have the money
Mm.
and you want something pretty badass
Let's play that lottery game.
that sits on your desk
Ooh.
in your office, how about
A spaceman.
Porsche 911
What?
2.1 surround sound system?
Now,
Now, when I
go with
say
Spaceman too.
But does it hold a
just kidding.
space
okay,
pen?
so you're getting me off topic, and I can't remember what I was talking about. What were we talking about?
911 soundbar.
Oh, yeah. 911 soundbar. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to make your room, like your office, badass, this thing,
Does it have like an engine in it? I mean, does it
Dude,
give you a
it
background
takes-
noise of.
actual exhaust parts. There's a description in here, and
Okay.
I can read it if you want, but what it does is the design enhances like the output of the sub, which is
Interesting.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for the speakers.
Yeah, where are the speakers?
right. I couldn't find them either. I thought, but anyways, so the exhaust
Like maybe
is
here.
fabricated
Oh,
from
that's-
real
okay.
Porsche
That's probably
exhaust.
This
the
thing
array.
is probably
Yeah, you got it
bigger
up
than
there.
we really
It's-
think it is.
And this is probably a ported. This is their ports.
That is the sub, and
Right.
the bottom part is
200
yeah.
watts.
Yeah, that's bigger than we really think it is right there.
So it's 2.1 Dolby surround. Plus, it's got Bluetooth capabilities.
All right, here's the official verbiage on the website. It says the 911 soundbar takes the functions of the original components and turns them on their head. Ooh. The rear silencer and twin exhaust now resonate sound. The result, a deeper, measurably louder audio experience with a higher maximum volume. In short, more power.
Again, so
So kind
here's the
of
thing.
kind of
It's
cool.
200 watts, 2 digital inputs, so you
How
can
much does
plug
200
in.
watts of Porsche power cost you?
Dude, $3,500.
Wow.
So for $3,500, I was thinking you can get like mono amps and have 2 towers, two
Hold on,
passive
I'm adding to
towers.
cart.
Okay. Yeah. Don't you love doing that? Just
It looks
See how
really
far you
cool.
can take that
I
add
got.
to cart?
I have to hear it.
See if they calculate
I
shipping.
need to hear it. If it sounded ridiculous,
Yeah.
totally worth it then. But just looks
do you know
wise,
anybody? Where
Well,
we-
and
I
again,
can
so
see somebody-
epic environments, right? If you had a
Yeah.
killer office and you wanted a
Forget
piece
the office.
to bring
What
somebody
about one
in,
of those showroom garages? Somebody's got their huge
Sure.
car
They got
collection.
their
They got
Porsche
that,
and
screen up on the wall, and they got this right below it. That'd be sick.
So Heather's dad.
Oh.
Check this out. Heather's dad. This would be a cool gift for him. Heather's dad has got one of those stacking
By
car.
the way, you want to
hydraulic
introduce Heather,
lifts.
this mystical Heather?
Oh, Heather, my GF. My main
Yeah.
squeeze, my
GF.
lady. So Heather's dad's a
Everybody's like, "Who's
car
Heather?"
enthusiast. Let's not get too off track, but he's got this badass hydraulic lift in his garage, so he could stack 2 cars. And his
'Cause you
garage
can.
smells like that old
Gasoline.
car smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, petrol based chemicals. But anyways, this would be kind of a cool thing for him. You got to be in there and listen to it and appreciate it. Anyways, cool, epic, kind of the most epic 2.1 desktop surround sound.
Didn't I read something on this where it
Must
says
be
when
exhausting to listen to that all day.
Didn't I read
gentlemen.
let me see here.
Yeah, way to blow it out there, Ben. That was a good one.
I could have sworn I saw something on here that says when you turn the system on, it does like a run.
The startup of
yeah.
the Porsche
Some
from
people
0 to
sound-
100 in 3.5 seconds, up to 9,000 revolutions per minute.
Wow.
Okay.
Some people told me it sounds muffled.
All right, moving along to things that are much more practical. Ben discovered something that
Oh,
was
yeah,
crazy cool.
Ben discovered.
See, that's the thing. I'm not sure if it's crazy cool though. So,
Why are you not sure?
oh, just because, I mean, it's cool, but it's just like, you already had something there in place of what they were saying. So,
This is revolutionary.
okay, so HDMI, the licensing, the company that does that does the licensing for them, basically said they were releasing an HDMI alternative mode for USB-C products, and that's like a lot of Android phones and other devices, tablets and stuff have a very small kind of USB Type-C connector on them, and so now what they're allowing to happen is HDMI to be output directly from that without the need of an adapter. And at first I was like, okay, that's cool. It seems like they're moving forward on this and more capabilities. But my whole thing is, if you already have the adapter in the first place, you're probably connecting to a cable that's already there, or you already bring your own cable. So if having this new capability, which is nice, I'm not knocking it. It's just, now you have to have a very specific USB-C cable to HDMI cable adapter, or not adapter, but just a single cable. You got to carry that just to output HDMI when you would already carry the adapter plus probably an HDMI cable, which is always useful. So it's one extra thing. I don't know.
But you're thinking of it, yeah.
But okay, so
I agree
wouldn't
with
this
you.
eliminate the adapter though?
Yes, it would.
It is the
So-
adapter.
But
they
most
just
places-
took a little
what if you-
box and they made it into a cable.
Okay,
It's-
so like this is a surface.
So my question to you is, what if I just had my phone and didn't have the USB-C to HDMI adapter, and there was, or even if I had that cable, what if there was a male HDMI accessible, and that was the only thing they had, a male cable for you, and that's all they had?
So
How do
you
you
need to
plug that in?
female couple the adapter.
Okay, so yes,
That's how Apple works. I
Yeah,
have a
and
female.
just like you
it's
go
a male
anywhere-
to female HDMI adapter for the Thunderbolt Lightning,
so if you think about it
which is
from
already out of phase now.
so if you think about it more from the perspective of the hardware though, like that's kind of where I think I'm a little bit more, it seems like, excited about this than you are, because
Ecstatic.
like, okay, the news just came out, the iPhone 7 no longer has the headphone port on it,
Yeah,
right?
that's outrageous.
Now all they have is the Thunderbolt port, and so they got this universal port, and you have
Yep.
to have Thunderbolt to HDMI, Thunderbolt to this, Thunderbolt to that. So the theory already exists. The problem is that it's not universal. This is Apple universe. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like to have the same capability. Now this tablet, this PC, could have a single USB 3.0, which it does. And out of that USB 3.0, I eliminate the DisplayPort adapter that I no longer need. You know what I mean? I get you can close that port off, and I
Yep.
can have all the ability to charge it. I can have all the ability to anything off of that one port. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it may take a little bit of time, but like right now when we go into a conference room, you have an HDMI plug in the wall, and you have a
VGA or
you know
or
what I mean?
audio,
But
yeah,
DVI is
basic.
kind of gone away. It's,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
now HDMI and well, what if HDMI went away and it just became the USB eventually? You know what I mean? And it was
That's
for
true.
whatever you had, because now HDMI can be translated over the USB-C cable.
That's
that
true.
video element can.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe I'm reaching.
You kind of convinced me a little
was
bit.
just thinking
I'm
it
just
would be
thinking
cat.
practical.
It would be RJ45, and then you don't because
RJ45.
yeah,
RG6.
RJ6. There you go.
Coax
It
done.
screws down.
HDSDI on that. I mean, I don't see why not.
I think we need more pins.
Okay.
What we need is bio nano.
Cut the cord, man. Cut the
We
cord.
need, we need that like gel pack technology from Star Trek.
Gel pack.
Gel pack. All right. So kind of cool there. Kind of cool with the
Yeah.
with the sound effects.
You like that, huh?
All right, hold on. I gotta go. Beep beep.
Do the beep beep with the thing
The
here?
camera things.
Toot toot.
Beeping the thing.
Talk
Yep.
amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
But RJ, it's your topic.
I know. Just
I know. Conveniently placed his topic right there. But
nothing convenient about it.
yeah, nothing at all. So I guess yeah, having a cable is great. I'm thinking it's like, isn't an adapter the same as that's a male to male cable? Well, an adapter would just be a male to female cable.
And you, in your mind, you have more options that way too, because you can hook up in almost any situation.
Yeah,
including-
exactly.
I get what you're saying.
It's
I
like
totally
if
get
you're
what
going to
saying.
have an HDMI, I geek out, so I have an HDMI cable on me.
I have two, dude. I have a long one and a short one. I might even have three.
Yeah.
And it's only because how many times you've been there where it's like you have a cable
just
and then you
needed-
unroll one and it's like it's too short.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if
Don't
you're
wanna be
going to
caught.
already have the adapter, you would probably, at that point, you already have the adapter.
You're good already.
Yeah. So it's cool. But, the way I think about it is just, it's literally one extra thing. Again.
I know more.
'Cause you already have
more
the
equals
adapter.
better. More
More
equals
equals
better.
More.
You can take it with you. Bury me with it.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Tell me what's going on here.
Yeah.
All right, all
what's
right.
the
Moving
dealio?
along, moving along. So I've got two things here for you. The first one is kind of just a little bit of eye candy. So there's this show called IFA. It's in Berlin, and there's some details about that if you want to check out the links in the show notes.
Okay.
You can go into that. We won't waste a whole lot of time onto it, but they have this really cool video of LG did this tunnel with their curved LED walls.
So their own
nice.
Vegas experience.
Yeah, kind of like
in Berlin.
the Fremont
Right.
street thing. So and we'll just
Except way more resolution, huh?
oh, it's doing that thing again.
The thing with the stuff? What'd you do?
Well, it's not playing actually.
I don't think it's playing.
Yeah, but you hear that noise?
Yeah, well then take the fader down, push play.
Make
See
sure you
what
turn off the
happens.
flux capacitor too.
Because I bet you it's super.
That's going to be crazy.
Ah,
There we go.
well, smart. We can do things.
We know how to work this. So, this is all, like I said, with their new curved panel.
That's pretty
So
sweet.
that's how they were able to do it in a full dome thing. It's all very pretty.
It is.
Anyway, so just wanted to.
Let's all take a moment. So this
I was taking a moment.
Well, you can check out the show
I'm
notes
going
after
to now.
the show.
Yeah.
Intrigued me.
let's all stop.
The reason that I wanted to throw that in there, though, is actually to lead us into the next story, which is LG expands Smart Thin Q ecosystem to, wait for it, include Amazon's Alexa.
Again.
You're bringing it home.
Hashtag
man.
Smart Home Wars.
You're bringing it home. Literally.
So, anyways, just wanted to, again, throw this out here. Another one is jumping on board the team. Echo is just blowing up with Alexa and all that good stuff. But LG expanded its smart home ecosystem at IFA, announcing a series of partnerships that were highlighted to be cooperation, or that were highlighted by cooperation with Amazon to allow voice control of LG smart devices by Amazon's Alexa. So, turn my living room TV on.
Oh, you got to say Alexa first.
Oh, sorry. Alexa, turn my living room TV on. Alexa, turn on Rick and Morty.
RJ, I don't like that tone of voice.
Alexa, do it now. I need my Rick and Morty.
Don't hit me, RJ.
Alexa can be renamed, I thought.
Can you? I mean, I dig the name Alexa.
Oh, I thought you could rename it.
I think you can.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that could get interesting.
Yeah.
I want to make mine computer.
Okay.
Oh,
Computer.
like Star
Do
Trek.
things.
Computer. Turn on my music.
Computer, scan the nearest nebula for
Computer.
signs of intelligent life, please.
Illuminate.
Making cup of
Computer.
coffee.
Oh, nice.
tea, hot.
I know. I
Earl
wonder if
Grey.
they're going to integrate, coffee machines. I'm sure that's going to be in the
Dude,
smart home.
They
All right.
already have fridges that
Oh
are,
yeah,
are going along.
fridges,
Oh, yeah.
washer and dryer. Yeah.
Your HVAC. I mean, it's literally a step away. We're so close.
I hopefully won't slaughter this name here, but I have a quote, and this is
And I quote.
Joe Seong-jin, president of LG Electronics. So, however you pronounce president of LG
Let me
Electronics'
see.
name.
Let me see what it says.
That's pronounced Mr. President.
It's the quote part there.
Yeah, man. Joe Seong Jin.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
Joe?
To the T.
Seong Jin.
So
the-
we've
to the
properly
chin.
we've properly accredited this quote now to.
Joe Seong Jin.
He said, collaborating with innovative industry leaders is our core strategy to make LG smart home solutions even more accessible and convenient to consumers. We believe that differentiating our LOT, or I think that's IoT, Internet of Things
Yes,
technology,
Internet of Things.
through openness and collaboration will benefit far more customers than a closed system.
Correct.
Boom. Perfect partner in LG, or in Alexa then.
Yep.
The open ecosystem. So that's exciting. That is, and yeah, they've already got some of the refrigerator stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
I was
They have a
tempted to go
whole
get
line.
one.
They're-
yeah.
They have dishwashers. These guys got dryers. They have, you name it. And I like their really thin stuff. Their counter depth refrigerators are really nice.
Well, you know what I like, G? I like free TV.
Do
You
you?
like-
I do.
Then
Free?
you're going to love my next story.
Boom!
Oh,
Yeah. So remember we were talking about antennas a couple weeks ago.
yeah, yeah.
And it was just this boom of
Yeah, over the air.
local
For the
free
Olympics, yeah.
UHF, VHF.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out, dude. And I liked the name of the company. It's Epic.
Epic.
Kickstarts the ultimate cord cutting tech. So this Irvine-based California startup Epic
Okay, Irvine.
launched its Watch Air Smart HD TV antenna and Kickstarter. Less than 4 days later, the company had already funded 97% of its $50,000 goal with 29 days to spare. Not too shabby. Anyways, why it's cool. It's a portable TV antenna tuner that live streams TV over Wi-Fi to an app-enabled smartphone or tablet or major brand smart TV. Even sticks like Roku or the Chromecast.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for $250, dude.
Oh, and there is a monthly add-on that you can do. So it works free.
It works
right?
free. It works free.
But there is a monthly add-on you can do for DVR features if you want those.
Right. So and memory
Yeah.
built
Wow.
in. There's a 32 gig memory on one of these. There's a 7 and a
So
32, I
it's
believe.
all just going online. There is,
yeah.
I mean-
and it's up to 60 miles away from the source. Is what the reception
what?
can catch
Yeah.
in its hand.
What?
No, it can receive up to 60 miles
its
away.
hand.
It can receive up to 60 miles away.
What?
UHF, VHF, low band
whoa, what?
I'm sorry. Let me restart this. High band VHF, low band VHF, and UHF signals.
What about the mid band?
So I took
Oh
a
my
peek at
goodness.
this story and I told my wife about it last night. I was like, baby, you won't
Yeah.
believe what they're coming out with. And I told her all about this thing, and she's like, yes, sold, done. 'Cause
Really?
we've been dying to get away from cable forever,
Ah.
but she likes to watch certain shows. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
So you,
happy wife, happy life.
Yep.
yeah, no,
It's like I don't really watch TV. I'll go in and watch TV with her, something
dude,
along those lines.
it's
but
got TV guide built into it and storage to
That's-
5
yeah.
hours of
Well-
HD programming it can store, and you can just purge that recording.
And that's the thing.
Purge,
What I
record.
love about this is it streams to your device, whether it's your computer, your phone, whatever.
Right.
Like I do all my watching on my phone or on my laptop or on my computer. I don't watch the television.
And dig
except
this.
for this one
Yeah.
over here
You
behind me,
can-
which is hooked to a computer.
Yep.
It's got an SD slot or USB slot, so you can literally
Dude,
instead of VCR tapes
Yeah.
or CDs, you can
let's
just have
see
data.
here.
zip drives.
The zip drives.
Let's visit their
100
Kickstarter.
megabytes.
Let's see if there's still-
I could record.
Okay, so there's
forever.
as of recording today, there's still 8 days to go. They have doubled their goal. Their goal was $50,000. They're at $102,000, but you can get in. Let's see here. What early bird? So for $150, it looks like pledge $149 or more, and you get the Surly Super Early Bird Pack.
Say that 3
And
times fast, please.
The Super Early Bird Pack in black, which, as you said, has an MSRP of $249. You can get it for $149. It includes basically one. It looks like one of this is. Oh no, no longer available.
You got to pledge a little bit higher.
Yeah, you got to go a little bit higher. It looks like they still got it for $189. So you can still save.
Right here,
And
$189.
there's a few left of that one, and there's a couple more as they go up. So there's probably a double in here if you want to give one as a gift or, you know.
These are cool. It's an affordable price, and it's functional, and it's a tool.
It needs an Epic Environments unboxing video done on it.
We'll have to probably do that. We'll have to talk to these
Send
guys.
us money.
We'll talk to Justin Park. He's the Epic CEO, and maybe we'll give him a call and see what's up with that. But let us know what you think, if this is cool or not. We think it is.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Like, let us know down below. Are you guys getting one? All right. Moving along.
Moving on. So I kind of touched on this in the beginning. I don't know where I was there, but basically, I wanted to talk about how Siri is now kind of rivaling the Echo and Alexa, for that matter, by integrating their whole platform into their version of a home speaker, as well as the new operating system with most Macs and things like that. And so it was really interesting. But they're finally opening up their platform, or seeming to other developers, to integrate the Siri service into other functional things like the nesting and like all those
Siri nesting.
Exactly. All those things. So like I said, yeah, they're a little getting there, not too late, but almost there. So
this article, big old red line right here, says everything. Apple needs Siri to be open if it's to stay competitive in the home.
Yep.
Period.
Exactly.
That's this whole article summed up in one thing. Still, go read the article. It's on The Verge. So it's obviously a good article. But yeah, no, I don't know how they're going to pull it off staying siloed.
Yeah. They got to open up.
They're going to have to get their own thermostats, their own lighting
Either they need to come out with
controls,
some innovative technology from within, or open up to outside development also.
Well, and that's the thing. If you make one product that could talk to either or, that's like half a step, or basically like a virtual fence away from Amazon being able to talk to Siri.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that would be, like, if everybody could just play NAS, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
That's what
I know.
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
Well, that's
But
what
they're
the
not gonna
public
do
wants,
it.
but
They're not gonna. You got
Get
Godzilla
over it,
and
guys.
Mothra.
Yep.
Get
I know.
over it.
And Google actually, I guess, has a Google Assistant, and the crazy thing about this one, I guess they can answer follow-up questions, or you can ask it one question, then ask them a question about the answer of that question.
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
And,
that does not happen right
yeah.
now.
All right, so
So-
I'm gonna amend my prediction. Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have
Cortana.
Amazon, and you're gonna have Apple.
Microsoft.
And Google.
Hashtag Smart Home War, and then Google just gonna come out and release it all for free.
Yep. That sounds about right. That's what they do, right?
It'll do about 70% of what the others will do, but it'll be completely free.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. Oh, this last topic here.
Right.
This
It's kind of
this
touchy,
is-
huh? It's kind of touchy.
Well,
I saw it and I was
It
like,
hits,
when I read
hits
it,
me in
and I
my
was-
heart a little bit because. Well, go ahead.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You didn't read the notes. It's right here at the bottom. I'm just kidding.
Trying to lead you on. Come on, man.
Okay, so I saw this article
From the top.
from the top, from Ray Pubs, and it's basically. Well, I'll read the title for you. Amex lowers price of the Innova GX 100, but instead of writing about that story, I wrote this one. Where the heck is AMX? And then when that intrigued me, I was like, wait a minute. Where the heck is AMX?
Right?
You know, where are they? Because it seems to me, and you guys tell me if this is, I'm making this up or whatever, but it feels like, and I'm a feelings kind of guy, it feels like
Big
people
gut guy.
kind of,
Tell us all about it.
they look at a bid for you guys, you tech guys out there,
Fellow Hergo Murphs.
but the Hergel Murph Nation. So a lot of times, if a high-end client is coming in, they're looking for almost a name brand recognized, and either the client knows about AMX or Crestron or both. And a lot of times when it's a head-to-head sort of a scenario, they'll get quoted Crestron, right? Crestron seems to be is number one.
Yeah, the
Crestron
leader.
is number one. So then what about number 2 and number 3? Because then it almost seems like, well, hey, I can get Crestron features for a much different price point in a. I mean, think of a control system now. Savant is quite affordable. So where does AMX fit in? And so basically, the story is about how AMX has been acquired by Harman, which seemed like a really
That is
good
kinda
deal
crazy.
because Harman is an audio company.
Yeah, very much
and
so.
AMX is a video company, and putting those two together with all the other cool stuff that is in the Harman group sounds like the
And a
perfect
control
scenario.
company, yeah.
Right.
So
And this guy Gary, I keep scrolling up to get his name, and I forget about the bottom of the page. Gary K. He says here, when Harman bought him in 2014, it was a nearly perfect merger. Why Harman was all audio, AMX was all video, and AMX had nearly 2 billion installed base of control system users, while Harman was still trying to figure out what to do with the high QNet
yep.
at the time. So it was logical that Harman would leverage AMX's control protocol and add it to the high QNet. And have a universal control and ID across all product lines, including big brands like JBL, Crown, DVX, Lexicon, AKG, Soundcraft, and others. 'Cause that's all
Yep.
under the Harman brand.
Yep.
But yeah, they just so far nothing's come to fruition. And he's like, Harman is a giant, and they could have something up their sleeve with AMX. But if they do, they should let us know, or at the very least, certainly let the people at AMX know, because he was talking to people.
Well, morale. Okay, so like industry
Oh, yeah?
people, he's been getting the vibe, morale wise,
Feeling
that
it,
AMX
not feeling
people not feeling it.
Oh yeah.
And other things out there is that
Like the people at AMX.
right. The workers.
He
and they all say like on the front.
he claims
They're talking
here-
like, no, AMX is doing awesome.
great.
We have so much money in the pipeline doing this and that and working it for us here and there. But then later on, it analyzes where is their income really coming from, and is it from the right sources, or is it just residual stuff, programming or other like automotive. So they do have income revenue streams from different quadrants out there, but I think in home control or in commercial control, automation, that kind of stuff, they're missing the boat in some ways, and it's kind of a trip because they were such a powerhouse before. They were rising stars, and they had built this whole name for themselves. So it's some people would say, hey, well, since the acquisition or since the merger, has that made it worse or better? And what's going to happen if you guys can't get your act together pretty quick? Is everybody just going to forget about AMX? And so that's a good for you guys out there, that you techie geeky guys, you Hergel Murphs out there. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. Is AMX still relevant?
Yeah.
Or do they?
I mean, what have you guys heard? I mean, have you been asked for it or seen it, or is it as prevalent as it used to be? It seems like it used to be right up there, and now you're seeing it asked for less. You're seeing less
It's almost like
brand recognition with it.
They changed themselves to be so much like Crestron and to try to beat Crestron, and they did add features and stuff in their product lines and their price points to compete. But then it was kind of like, well, if I'm going to get AMX, I might as well just get Crestron.
Yeah.
This last quote I want to share here from Gary, the guy that wrote this. He says, however, talk to anyone at AMX on the record and you get everything is great and we're growing and investing big time statement. Off the record, the story is different. For example, I've personally been, not me, this is the author, I've personally been contacted by more current AMXers than any other company in AV right now, an inordinate number of people for supposedly thriving company seeking other employment opportunities. Granted, it could be related to the fact that I worked there for a while, but I think it's a bigger issue than that. So he's claiming where there's smoke, there's fire. People are like hitting him up looking to jump ship. So regardless of what the official statement is, and again, that's what he's claiming. Obviously, just reading a story here. But
well, people get angry in a shakeup like that. Maybe the higher ups, people got cut, or they don't like the way the new management is running things. Who knows? But
it could be any number of things. Yeah,
and we've been to Harmon. We've toured their facilities.
It's epic
awesome.
over there.
Awesome. And good people working there. So we have no problems with Harmon, and we like AMX.
We got no problems with Harmon.
But what do you guys think? Get back to us. Let us know.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts and feelings. Comment below. The whole nine. But seriously, it's a big company to just disappear. Be like, whoa.
Major control company.
All right. Anyways,
moving right along the way here, we got this week's tips and tricks item. Now, we found this video. This is a channel called Acoustic Geometry on YouTube. Just stumbled across them one day and recommended videos.
Oh, yeah. This one's cool.
And they do a whole bunch of different things regarding, or a whole bunch of videos on there with acoustical treatment. And this is one of those things, we've talked about it before, but a lot of people really don't understand
how acoustics work.
Exactly, how the acoustics work, whatever. And these guys do a really, really good job of just breaking it down into super, super simple terms and kind of explaining the difference between diffusers and absorbers and that type of stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of how acoustics works, do you ever have the client that would go, like, you installed the speakers or they're coming to demo or listen to the speakers and they go right up to it and then they just put their ear... Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I used to love that because it's like,
and then
can you stand back a little bit, please? You're scaring me.
So we're gonna play just a little bit of this, and there's at the end of it he does a A/B comparison where he's clapping in the room and you hear it without the acoustical treatment, and then you hear it with the acoustical treatment. And
it's really good
difference
representation.
is significant.
The curved surface diffuser. It also reduces the strength of sound bounces. A diffuser works by scattering the sound
he uses
reflections
Nerf
in
guns
different directions,
as sound
smoothing
waves
out destructive
to show you how they bounce
Dude, I'm
off
getting that
walls and
new
stuff.
one, the ball.
Yeah.
Acoustics are
It's
greatly
awesome.
improved
Yeah, we can do
using
this
a
at your house, G.
combination of absorption and
Okay, so
diffusion.
here we go.
Awesome.
Big difference. I don't know if you can
We
hear
deal
it
with
too.
this all the time
It's
in
all about
churches.
reducing those flat surface reflections.
All right, so we'll let you guys link again. It's linked up down below, also in the show notes on the website at epicenvironments.com/epictv. Acoustic geometry. Yeah, you were saying. Got to give credit. Man.
So, remember that one time we walked into that church and we started talking, and after about the third word, we couldn't hear what we were saying to each other after we got about 10 feet away?
Couldn't hear you.
What, Ben?
What?
What?
Huh?
Huh? Speak up now. I'm talking to you.
Just disappeared.
Hey,
Yeah.
remember that one church that we spec'd all the acoustical treatment for? They actually, didn't end up using it because it didn't look right, and now we're getting calls from them because the sound system doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
So, you pros out there, you know who we're talking about.
Yep.
If you feel like I'm pointing at you, I am.
Yep.
Acoustic treatments are
It's essential.
It's you have to have it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, people will blame you for their system sounding like crap.
Yep. You can have the best
Every
speakers
time.
in the world.
Yeah, I have some Myers in this building, and they are badass, but the acoustics from the room, the construction, the walls, everything make it sound like crap.
Yep.
Absolutely.
A lot of hard,
So-
flat surfaces, bouncing everything
You better
around.
know if you're selling a good system in a church, they're going to blow that thing up with volume.
Yeah.
The band's
You
going to get
gotta
there, or
always
the,
take
the
acoustics into
pastor is going to
consideration.
get up on that mic, and it's going to be horrible. And then they're going to come back to you,
and it doesn't even
and be
have
like, "Why does my system sound like crap?"
And that's the thing. Like a lot of people, maybe a lot of people, but there's also instances where you go into a small space. You know what I mean? That could definitely benefit from just a couple bass traps or a couple
His
pieces
studio,
on
how
Yeah.
big is
Hey, your
that
studio's
room, dude?
what?
Not small.
8 by
I
8?
mean, that's just a small tracking room, like 8 by 10 or so.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
dead.
yeah.
It scared me a little bit. I got in there. I was like, all I hear is my voice, and it's not.
And your heartbeat.
Yeah.
But you put a surround sound system in that room,
Oh, it'd kill
you
it.
know, it
Yeah.
would kill it because you'd hear so clearly where everything is coming from.
Yeah,
Because there's
very
nothing muddling
defined.
it up. All right, you guys can keep talking about this for just a second. I got to do that thingy again where I push buttons and it goes beep 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 and changes
Beep, beep, beep.
cameras.
Beep, beep, beep.
Push the
be right
buttons, RJ.
Push the buttons to the left-hand side.
So I think, yeah, acoustic treatments, man.
Yeah, it's major.
It's
I mean,
the way to go.
most people don't realize how big of an impact it really does make
Yeah,
because
that's so awesome that
Yeah,
now
no,
you can
that's a
visually
really- well,
hear.
you can
Right?
you can see how
There's
the
a
sound
visual
works.
example of sound acoustic treatment.
No, but he does demonstrate that very well. That
Mm-hmm.
sound, even though you can't see it, it works very similar to light in the way it scatters about the room, and it's just always lost in terms of people, the forefront of people's minds when it comes to designing a performance area or something
yeah.
like that. Only
Oh, yeah.
because they think you just put up some good speakers and you're good to go. Well, the room has so much to do with that, and
Right.
and I think it's
What do you think's the worst?
what do you mean the worst?
Architecturally, what have you found to be the worst?
dome.
I have, dude. I was about to say the same thing.
The dome.
Super high ceiling in the middle of the room,
Yeah.
80 feet high.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's
That was the dome.
That was the
That was the.
change the camera's alarm right there. Sorry.
I
so
thought-
one time I went
thought
to
that was the
another
word of the-
church.
okay, never mind.
It was Greek Orthodox in I think
downtown?
In Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
And I was there with Verducci.
Oh.
And we actually
What's up, Verducci?
What's happening,
we know you're
dude?
watching.
Shut up.
You better leave a
To
comment below. Say hi
Verducci.
to everybody.
So we measured the whole room
Uh-huh.
twice, and it was just like, "Yep, right here, this
Yep.
section right here."
Yep.
Yeah. And it was within, I mean, on both sides,
Yeah.
almost exactly the same distance off the wall. And when we looked at the image on his laptop to see the hot spots and the loss and where those were at, it was a trip, and it was a 60-foot high dome. Yeah,
So many reflections
and
depending on where you're
churches
standing
do
or sitting
not
there.
like to cover up their pretty domes.
No.
But there's solutions, right? There's the
Yeah.
painting style, right, where you have the silk screened image
Oh,
onto
yeah,
the acoustic
yeah. You
panel.
can add these,
and then there's the decorative fabric colored ones, right? So there are creative solutions, and people just need to get into the design aspect of it and really match the tones. It doesn't always, I mean,
Unfortunately, it's always very much so. It's an afterthought.
Right,
Right. Some people don't realize it, or whoever's designing the place doesn't think about hey, yeah, we're putting a bunch of speakers, but what are the other surfaces in this place? It could be great if everything's like carpeted and you have a lot of really non-parallel surface in the building, but when you have hard flat surfaces, a lot of concrete cement or just flat glass surfaces, I mean that just wreaks havoc for audio, and
Absolutely.
trying to clean that up and do it in a very aesthetic way is a difficult process. You really got to figure out how to work with the space that you're in to not upset the visual aspect of it as much, even though that's part of having to deal with acoustics. So.
You know what? I'd like to improve the visual aspect of.
Oh, what's that?
When someone's at my door,
Yeah.
I'd really like a visual aspect
that segue?
of what
Cross-
happens when somebody
he-
rings my
He
door.
really
Wow.
crossed the
that
threshold.
crossfade of subjects was seamless and totally beat matched.
DJ Train Wreck.
Killer crossfade.
Boom, boom.
All right. Sorry, I've got the products out. I didn't know if you guys were just like filling time while I was doing that. So I
We
thought
were
I'd
actually talking. Thanks
jump
for
in.
interrupting
Yeah.
us.
My uncle would say something about racehorses and donkeys, but anyways,
What that it takes a horse and a donkey to make a
I don't know
Mule?
what your uncle was into.
but
Racehorses
two mules
talking,
can't
donkey
make
interrupting.
a horse. Is that what it is? I see what
I'll
you
explain
did
it to you after
there.
the show.
I see what you did there.
All
That's not funny. Not funny at all.
Today in Epic
That thing's small.
equipment, we have
Dude, it's super easy to hook
something
up.
epically small, some
check this
epically
out.
small equipment here. This is a video doorbell made by
Not working.
Skybell.
So it's wireless. It's not working.
It's not wireless, like in that sense. Like you do have to power it up.
You lied.
I never said it was one.
I'm out of here.
Oh, Ben. Oh, you know what? Here, there's this thing
Close.
here. It says watch video. Let's just
Oh.
watch the video.
Welcome to Skybell. We're making homes and neighborhoods safer.
Ooh.
Nice
Starting
production
at
value.
The front door. Skybell is a video.
They always
doorbell
do this
that
with
sends
the
live
shady
video
guy in the
I
hood
know.
that comes up
to
to your
your
front
smartphone.
door and rings your
Who
doorbell.
walks
Always
around
know
super
who's
shady.
Sucks too because now I can never wear
At
cargo
2 in
pants
the
and a
afternoon.
hoodie anywhere in Pasadena because they think I'm
Earmuffs.
trying to.
Earmuffs.
Sorry.
Can I help you?
Somebody report a power outage?
Yeah,
Everything's fine in this house.
You must be mistaken.
that's not how that conversation would go at all. Conversation would be like,
Skybell has already
what?
helped
Hey, I know that
power
guy.
outage? Is that a new uniform for the power company there?
Okay.
SBC or
I heard their product is better than their ad.
So the way this hooks up is super simple, and it's actually like the reason we wanted to bust this out and kind of share it with everybody is this is one of those things. Smart homes are all the rage right now, right? Like everybody wants their smart homes. We talked about those staging kits that you got the thermostat this and the
Right.
lighting control that and
Yep.
the who's a what's it this. This retails at $200. So for all of our Hergomorphs out there, we're gonna make that stick. For all of our Hergomorphs,
you better be putting this in your trunk or in your vans or
right.
it is just dumb.
You just have to get
because-
the new
one.
webcam.
And while you're at somebody's house, it's like, hey, you
I
know
can
what?
add security to your house.
Would you like to
right
answer
now.
your door from your phone?
right?
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take me literally under 5 minutes, and we know that because there's going to be a 5-minute video on how to install this, and it will be under 5 minutes.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that.
Leave comments below.
I can't wait.
And there's an instant little, upsell. You know what I mean? A little impulse buy. All just because you kept it in the back of your van, you pitch it when you are at the site.
Ridiculously easy to install.
It comes with all
It-
the tools, even. Look at this.
What? Come
So-
There's two screw
You have your plate.
points that are not they're not even indicated with the positive or
Okay.
negative.
All right, and we already lined this up with my
isolation.
doorbell.
Yeah,
and
the
it
screws
fits.
virtually fit
This house was built in the 50s.
with almost any standard two screw hole doorbell. Top and bottom.
You'll
I
need
think
this
it's 2 inches.
screwdriver. They include it.
Ah,
Standard number 2 Phillips with a cool green handle.
that's pretty cool.
And just
Another one.
in case
You gotta put anchors
you
in the
don't
wall.
have the holes.
Your very own masonry
Fancy.
bit.
That's right. And it's coincidentally sized for these anchors.
Wow.
All in one
They just
package.
willy-nilly match that up, and
So
it
you
just
don't need to
works.
go to Home Depot and buy anchors. You don't need to look through all your bits and stuff. Every time you open one of these things up, you can literally go install it with a drill gun and maybe a pencil.
So get
If
your
you're-
hammer
if
and
you
start
need to
chiseling
make
away
bigger
at that
Your
bit.
biggest worry will be, what are you going to do with all your extra drill bits?
I know.
Well, you
You're
can sell
gonna
them
get a
on
drill bit
eBay.
every time you sell
Give all
one of
your
these.
other techs green
You
handled
will be
screwdrivers.
flush in drill bits and green handled screwdrivers.
But getting back to the reality of this,
Look at the finish on that thing too.
It's
It is
badass.
nice. I
No,
like it. It has a nice
and-
texture.
Now this
it's
particular model,
illuminated.
That's
And
right.
It's illuminated.
It'll
so
light
it's
up.
already better than a normal doorbell, right? But on top of course, the video features.
Yeah.
But let's just say you want to record. You can sign up for the DVR feature, right? It's
Really?
free. It says free video recording as one of the features.
Oh.
And you can access this anytime, regardless if it's rung, right?
Correct. I
Yeah.
believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm
For
just
$200.
just
so
going
with
with that
installation,
video right there.
let's say
So
it's
live-
$300.
It says
'cause
live
if the
monitoring.
burglar doesn't ring your doorbell,
Well, it has motion sensing, so you can set up a
That's
motion
cool.
sensing on it, and it'll alert you.
I dig it. I dig it.
Color night vision,
Okay.
which is kind of cool. And it comes in like this one is silver. This one we have here is kind of this black bronze
Charcoal finish.
charcoaly finish, but super clean finish. Nice solid button.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Does feel good.
I can't wait to do the video on it, and then
Do it.
talk my wife into just letting me leave it installed.
What?
again, for let's say if you're a consumer, watching the
Forgot
show,
I left that on the
and
doorbell.
think about it, for probably $300, you could have this delivered to your house and installed by a
You
professional.
could probably get it for Prime for
And-
free shipping if you got it on
Well,
Amazon.
there you go. So for $200, you have it shipped to yourself, and you
Yep.
can install it yourself. It's that easy. But if you have a technician,
It's 2 screws
who's
and watch our
recommended
video.
this to you, this
You'll
is
be able to
definitely
install it
worth the
yourself.
money.
But yeah, the other thing too, we haven't mentioned it yet, that is a kind of a big deal, is you don't need a separate app for this. This will work with your Nest app. So if you
Nice.
already have a drop cam,
Which
I was
you
gonna
do.
say,
which
yeah,
we
how
do, we'll
How
definitely
many
have to.
apps do you have to go to use all the stuff?
Nest works with this.
Yeah,
which
just
means
one.
that pretty soon it'll probably also work with Alexa if history
Yep.
is any indication.
Or maybe Siri. Who knows?
It works
Maybe.
with the other one, and I just went to Amex mine. Amazon's.
Does it?
Yeah,
Alexa.
it works with that already.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah,
This guy.
Sure.
this
Learn more.
is already ready to go.
Yeah, super simple. This is probably going to be one of those like 3-step install things, multiples of them, live monitoring.
It's only three-step things to do.
Oh, you know what? There is one tip that we do want to recommend. So
Let's open
let's
the
say
box.
you
Step
do
one.
not have an existing doorbell with a transformer giving
good
it
call.
power. Okay, you will need to power this with a transformer. A doorbell, a standard doorbell one should be fine.
Right,
2
it'll-
conductor wire.
If you have an existing doorbell, it'll snap right in and screw right,
Right.
in. If
If
not, you'll
not-
have to get the power supply accessory
Yeah.
and then just plug that in somewhere.
So keep that in mind
And you'll have to have
when
Wi-Fi.
you're out there selling it.
And Wi-Fi.
And Wi-Fi. You'll have to
Yes.
have Wi-Fi at
Oh.
your front doorstep.
Yeah.
I gotta
For this
get that.
to tie in.
And that
Yeah,
goes back to our other
Is that
video
Wi-Fi
where
any
we were
good?
talking about, how to set up your Wi-Fi at your house and make it reach everywhere. So,
We need to do a access point video, like 2 access points,
Sure.
and kind of how to
Yeah.
choose where to put
We
those.
can call it all access.
All right.
or easy
right.
access,
Easy,
Oh, yeah.
over access,
easy,
access all
breezy, beautiful.
over. Cover girl.
Let's see.
That's it,
here.
brother.
I think
Yeah.
so.
That's it. I know we want to keep talking, but we're gonna probably have to let you guys go. Oh yes.
Oh,
Check this
man.
out. I was thinking Skyhook, but then I thought I'd totally hang myself up on my mic.
okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'd be
Like,
like, and then my mic goes
Hey,
flying,
yes, we
and I
got a
look like
winner.
Dumb ass. But anyways,
Okay, he's going for it.
I'm gonna try it left-handed.
All right. Wow. If we had a camera shooting this way,
You would have saw that was
we would be
overshot.
showing
If you
Shot
had
and
a
completely off.
360-degree camera,
Let me try it
then
3 times, and I bet you I'll
you
get it on
might
the third
catch
Here.
it.
one.
Here you go.
I need to
At some
correct
point.
now.
One more.
'cause-
All right. While he's doing that, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Epic
Oh
Environments.
my God.
Closer on the second one.
The
Come
Epic
on.
We're
Environments
going to spend a week
podcast.
perfecting these shots.
No, no,
here.
no.
As always,
I
you can
just
check out
need to-
our show notes in the comments down below, and everything is always available over at www.epicenvironments. Last one. This is the last piece of paper.
Okay, I said I'd do it on 3, so I'm already a liar.
www.epicenvironments.com/EpicTV. My name is RJ,
Ben.
Guillermo. Gotta see something funny now.
and we'll see you next week.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I promise you.